So now my sidewall is basically laid out and designed and in place. I've got my 4 quadrants figured out. Again, you don't have to do quadrants. You can have one ongoing continuous design, totally up to you. The quadrants I designed aren't really level just yet. They're kind of uneven at the top. Expect that waviness at the top, unevenness. We will correct that later. Don't worry. We will add a finishing rim, like to kind of polish and give the bowl a polished, finished look later. Just like a cereal bowl you would eat out of has a rim. Now, when I bond these coils together and kind of scrape them together with my fork, I'm going to have some little pieces of clay handy just to fill in any gaps like you've seen in previous videos. So have a little army of clay spheres handy for that purpose. And again, you're going to use your plastic fork to bond and merge those designed coils together. Brace the outside of the bowl with your hand. Remember that styrofoam bowl I gave you is unfortunately a little flimsy, a little wimpy. You're going to want to work directly on the tabletop though. I'm actually holding my bowl up close to my camera so you can see what I'm doing, but you work on the table. So do as I say, not as I do. Once you've gone around a little bit with your plastic fork, you can again do some partial smoothing, some preliminary smoothing. And here I'm kind of patching in some holes that I see with some pieces of clay. I'm using the end of my plastic fork to blend that little piece of clay. You can use a popsicle stick as well, whatever works. And honestly, a real fork works even better than a plastic fork. So if you have a real fork, a metal fork that you can spare from your kitchen drawer, use that. So again, I'm remembering to brace the outside of the styrofoam bowl while I do a partial smoothing. And when you do the smoothing, have some moisture in your fingertips and, figure out, do you need to smooth with your thumb or with your index finger or with a couple of, fingers together? Like, you decide what works best for you. It's all about compressing those molecules and just doing a partial preliminary smoothing. Later, once this bowl is pretty much built, we'll do a final smoothing, a final babying of the interior, so it looks presentable and it will be able to hold objects. Right now it's very bumpy. The interior is extremely bumpy and uneven. I realize that. You need to realize that too, and just know that you'll clean that up later once the clay is less new and soft and plastic. So now I'm just going around and editing and kind of patching over any weird gaps, any weird textures, smoothing them over with a little moisture on my thumb. Not being too preoccupied with unevenness, a waviness at the top of my coils. I'll deal with that at a later date as well. So I'm just fine-tuning, just using both ends of the plastic fork actually, just to further bond all that clay together. That's what we want. We want to bond these decorative coils.